Well, what we're gonna do is, hey Nico, and I'm probably gonna make a mess today. No, we need to, I guess, in my opinion, finish up what we were doing yesterday because we never really solved it. So I kind of realized I didn't do any programming with this, but I was looking at this from our logic standpoint. 1, 2, 3, boom. All right. And now if I were to have this, all right, because I don't think we're actually looking at this how we as a human decipher this, because I think we're instantly looking here, because I was going through this. So I started to think about this as a cost benefit, an order of O, and then I realized we just need to solve it, because I don't think there's a way without us having to go through this more than once, because how our brains do this is we look at this and we automatically then, oh, that does slide. Okay, so I don't think there's a way around this without us having this being a dynamic window. And I think we're going to have to do this and go all the way through. So I think that's what we're going to have to do. So yeah, Rapesh, I hope this isn't going to be too boring, but or have you already solved it? Because I think we had somebody on the Discord who solved it, or they said they did, but I don't know if they solved and ran it through all the entire possibilities. So I think, because I really started thinking about this last night, I knew I got serious when I pulled out my dry erase board. So I think we need to have this be a substring and then look at it all the way through. And I think we've talked about, excuse me, I think we've talked about that. Don't want to put that on my actual desktop because I spilled a drink last week. It went down the wall. So I hope everybody is doing well today. And Nico feels a lot better. I'm very glad to hear this. So, because it'll become easy to program this once we actually get our human brain to figure out how it's deciding. So if we think about it, as we were, because if you go back and you look at what happens when you type 1 even into Spider, when I come here, Spider, the way that it handles it is it automatically creates a second parentheses to make this legal. And then if I were to do a second one, it places a fourth one. So I'm typing one of those, and the second one is automatically appearing. So I thought about that for a second. Are we looking at this, and is our brain coming over here? Because right now, let me go back and get a rectangle. So 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now, and I thought also taking about the length of the string, but for us to make this readable, we would have a little bit of an issue. So here's this compressed. So let me put this back into memory. So len of p p underscore 1. It's 16, but this is only, see, I've already got a problem. I could count parentheses open and closed. All right, so because I really want to solve this, and I kind of want to do it live to just get you guys the feeling and seeing how I go about doing these things. So we add 1, so there's an illegal one. Where's the other? And there's the other illegal one. Spider will help us and cheat and do it for us as we're coming through. Isn't that kind of cool as it goes through? So you can actually see how this algorithm is actually doing it. And it's very similar to what our brain is doing, as it's moving through, moving in and out, in and out, in and out. So it has to know, because this is legal, or this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6 times 2, 12. So the correct longest legal parentheses on this should be 12. And we need to figure out how our human brain did that as we move through. So I was looking at this last night, and I don't think there's a way around this without us looking at this being a dynamic sliding window. I just don't see it. So that means we're going to go through it more than once, which is fine. So we're going to come through here, and each time through, right now we'd have 3 open parentheses, and that would be, so then it would be closed, then it'd be back open, closed, or open, open, closed, 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 and then it would, at the end of this, we would realize that we had 1 open parentheses, so that would fail. So then we'd start here. So, and then that would be the length, because also I want you to think about this. So if this is our test for open and closed, we have to make a pair. So we kind of made this and I want to think, okay, it has to be an even distance, right? Because, all right, now we're getting close. It has to be an even distance because this is failing, because this is 1, 2, let me make that a little bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we already have an issue right now because this is 11. So it can't be a pair. So right off the bat, we know that there's an issue. So we could do an unpopular, very, very quick way of realizing that this is odd. Oops, my brush. That's not an A. Odd. So we have a problem. So we probably need to handle this a different way. I haven't even checked. Is that paint? Is that visible? Ugh. But that gets me in front of it. All right. There we go. Shape. So my sub, as I'm coming through here, so what am I doing with my human brain as I'm deciding how many this is? So what I really, so if you're just jumping on here, what we're doing, excuse me, I think my voice is almost warmed up. What we're doing is we're finishing up a parentheses problem, basically a longest substring with a very interesting caveat to it. It is the equivalent of, in your interpreter or in your editor, of when you type in parentheses for spider, it automatically adds an additional, so it closes it in for you and encloses it, so it helps you not forget to wrap, especially if you're going to do something I think this is the example that I go to and I show everybody. Zip list range. So if we look here, we have open, and it already highlights for you open and open. So I have 3 opens and 3 closes, and then technically that's legal too if I were to do something in addition to it. So the problem that came through yesterday is actually, I guess 2 days ago. No, we started working on this yesterday. So we were given, if given this string, find the longest valid parentheses substring. So the longest scenario is this right here because it's open and closed. Then we were given this example. So the longest substring is this. Now, we discussed a plethora of issues yesterday with how to really begin this. So if you really look at it, we started with some code, but we ran into an issue, and I was only basically what the whole premise of these videos are, and this stream and yesterday's stream is, how are we converting from a human decision to a programmable decision? And what I'm really driving home is if we really, really, really are understanding how we're making the human decision, we can easily convert it to a programming decision. I promise. And the reason why this is becoming challenging is because I know for a fact I am not exactly sure what technique I am using to devise this. So I know I'm looking here, and then I'm counting over to see how many. Oops, does that get rid of it? Sorry, I'm trying to hotkey this. Okay, so if I hold it and then bingo. That's interesting. Did not know that. All right. So basically, Nico, why are we talking about this same topic for 3 days? I guess, Nico, I didn't think we were talking about it 3 days ago, but we didn't solve it yesterday. So I guess that's kind of the point of I'm trying to share with you, with everybody here, in a live stream, also don't understand what's going on. You still don't understand what's going on. Okay, that's absolutely fair. I can completely understand why we would want to be talking about this if we didn't understand. So let's go back here. So here are the 2 examples of the. So somebody posted this in on the Discord server 3 days ago, I think, and we started to look at it, and I wanted to help that individual because I think this is a great challenge because, well, one, it's a very hard challenge, and I know how my brain is looking at it and solving it. No, I don't know. I'm sorry. I know my brain can look at it and solve it and come up with it. But in these 2 examples, I thought it was going to be a very, very simple problem. But it is not, because we also found out that in a legal, because just like in a math problem, I can do PEMDAS, parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division. So I have an order of operations. So this right here is completely legal because I have enough open and enclosed, and then I could technically add one more here and here. So now I have 3 nested, one additional, and since they are contiguous, they're side by side, I then have 8 of those enclosed inside another set of parentheses. So that was 8. This is now 10. So we have 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So what the point of what I'm really trying to drive home, the reason why we're having a challenging solving this is I have not been able to articulate how my brain is making this decision. I know I'm making the decision. I'm able to count this, but how am I actually doing it? And Nico kind of called out, still don't understand. Well, I still don't understand how my brain is making this decision. So the second that I'm going to make this hurdle and this jump from how I know that this is legal, because I have right here is going to be the longest substring. And I think this would pass, but right now I have not deduced how my human brain knows that that's legal. And I'm attempting to do it. And I think I maybe had a little bit of a breakthrough that we're either gonna count this as even or odd. Because I thought about, are my eyes jumping? Do I have a squiggly line? There we go. That's not what I wanted. Oh, here we go. No, I wanted a new line. So I'm trying to draw this right here. So we have, okay, this is kind of cool. Let's see if we can do this. No, I guess I've never used this in Paint, so I'm not quite sure how to go about doing this. Is this going to layer? Okay. This is a weird experiment, so we're going to try something here. Go back and go back here. And then here, and we stretch this out. Okay, so this is an interesting thing. So we have enclosed. So we have, this should be 10. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right. So how did my human brain know to look there? That's basically the principal question. How did I know to come around and do this? And that's just like I think we did the dynamic sliding window where we did A, B, C, B, C, D, A, B, C, then A, B. Now I want A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, A, B, C, D. All right. No. Come on. A, B, C, A, B, C, D, A, B, C. Why isn't that working? So now, all right. So if you had not seen the sliding window, and what I did is I wanted to find the longest substring of increasing alphabets. So I'm feeling like, because so what we did is we looked at the first letter, added it to a sub. If it was bigger, then we incremented our substring. Then we checked if our substring was longer than our longest substring. And at the first time through, it's always overriding, always overriding. Now the second group right here, it starts back over, goes back to A. So then ABC, this would now be the longest substring. So then we go back to A, starts back over. Now, here it is. the way that we wrote the decisions is A, B, C, D, E. This is now the longest substring. Starts back over, A, B, C. So I'm having a very strong feeling that this is the way that we are doing this. Our brain goes open because we need this to move over once we have this problem. So the reason why I'm kind of obsessed with this, Nico, is because I am deciding this with my eyes, but I don't know exactly. There's a step going on in my subconscious that I'm completely unaware of, and I want to figure it out, and I want to know, well, how am I doing this? Because once that I can articulate and solve this, then I'll be able to turn this into probably I feel a fairly easy programmable problem. But also, Nico, a personality trait that I have is that since we haven't solved this, I can't move on from it. But I guess if we're not done with this by today, we will move on. And I actually found a very interesting puzzle we could do for tomorrow's. But yeah, I mean, I tend not to move on until I solve something, especially if it's interesting to me. And I think this is a very interesting problem. So it's just part of my personality trait. So I hope it's not too boring for everybody today. But I will commit to you guys that if I do not solve it today during the live stream, we will move on. I won't make everybody sit here for a third day watching me program. So if you're just joining us, what we're doing is we're going through and we're attempting to solve an online platform problem today. And we're still really at the beginning basis of it. Let's get rid of this delete. Why didn't I delete? Oh, because I'm drawing. There we go. That'll delete it. Okay. And not an oval. Bingo. Oh, I need one more of these. And bring this down here. Click off. Perfect. That's a little gross. All right. So let's see. I'm feeling. So if we were to see these one at a time, I would go through and I'd say, all right, so if I can't see anything else and I'm looking at this for my first decisions, so I'd be waiting 1, 2, 3. Now I have 1 enclosed. Now I'm back to 3 open, 4 open, 5 open, and boom, boom, boom. All right, so see, I've already kind of spaced out where I went, no. So what would make this illegal? Why am I? Because 1 closed, 3 open, 4 open, 5 open, 2 closed. Let's see. Character, char, and open equals 0. Is that? Just to let you guys know, there is a weird emoji. I think you have and open count greater than 0. Is that it? Is that what you have? I think we tried that and we had an issue. So I don't want to jump in. Yes, that could possibly be it. But like I said, I don't want to jump into the coding right now, because I guess what you're saying is you're saying we need to start somewhere, and I get that. There we go. Okay, yes. But How are we deciding with our brain, with our human brain? So right now, basically, the way in my head of how my head is throwing this out is we do not include this at all because it is an odd number. It is an odd number of characters. So we would instantly come back to here. So, you follow me there? So this substring right here is not vital, is not practical because it is an odd number. So our substring would come through here, our starting point would index here, and then move through. Well, it would fail, or that would be inaccurate because this is an odd number. So we're going to increment this. So even though, if you've not seen the sliding window, so the window expands. It starts at the beginning and just expands and looks and calculates and goes through. Well, we'd get done here. So what I'm thinking, we're moving in our heads, we're moving our start and our end point at the same time. We need to figure that out if that's exactly what we're doing, which I believe we are. And that's why I've kind of defaulted to a dynamic sliding window. So this first substring, which subsequently ends up being the full string, is not valid because it is odd. So our second location will be here. So we'll have open, open, closed. So one pair. 2 open, 3 open, 4 open, close, close, closed, closed. So right now, let's see. Make a Python script that proves the earth is not flat. I wouldn't even know where to begin to do something like that, Nico. Because again, basically like the point of this exercise, how would we articulate that with our human brain? That's the whole point of this whole series that I'm really trying to drive home. And I know there's a chance that I'm alienating the audience because this isn't exciting. This is a little bit of redundancy, and I get that. But what I'm trying to share is stick-to-itiveness. So sticking with something to see it through. Because I get asked all the time, how do I build up? How do I learn to program? Well, you need to find something that you really need to solve, not just want to solve, but need to solve. So I'll share a little bit of a backstory. I was before I got my last job, I was working on a stock screener, and I really needed it to work because I was doing some pretty cool stuff, and I was constantly taking notes and remaking notes. And so what I was doing is I was overwriting this one Excel file repeatedly, and I was like, man, I've got to figure out a way, because I'm just wasting my time. I'm redoing all of this work. So I kept thinking about it, and again, how would I do this? How would I do this as a process manually? And that's what I guess I'm trying to articulate. How did I manually come through here and count this? Human brain. How did I make that? How did my brain make that decision? Because you're going to be given things and asked to build things. that don't make sense. I don't know, do some angle magic. I gotcha. So, all right. So, yeah, I think we've run off everybody because I think they are absolutely bored with this. But I'm really trying to do things. Now, I'm not equating myself with Tom Brady, but I will tell you this story. Everybody wanted to know how to be Tom Brady. And it basically boiled down to work ethic. So he wrote a book basically about all the work that he does. And everybody was like, is there an easier version? I mean, the book did not sell because everybody, I call it wanted to want to be like Tom Brady, but didn't actually want to do it because they had no desire in putting in the work. So what I'm trying to share today over these past few videos is these are the type of things that it takes to accomplish anything that's challenging, anything that's hard. Like right now with me needing to find a new job, I hate writing resumes. I hate reaching out to people. It makes me so uncomfortable, but I'm having to do it over and over and over again. And what you have to do is you have to make yourself uncomfortable all the time. Like when I chose to leave Walmart, I was so uncomfortable, but I knew that's the only way. That's the only way you're going to grow and improve. So I can tell some people have come and gone because this is like, no, we want to get shown how to do something. Well, I promise you, I am. I'm showing you how to the actual building blocks of problem solving. And everybody's like, oh, I know how to problem solve. Well, can you write an algorithm to find this as the longest substring? And because right now I've been staring at this problem for this is the second full day of, and I did kind of cheat last night and I pulled out my dry erase board, but I was trying to go through and I was just looking at this as human brain. So how am I coming through here? So that's how I've kind of settled on a dynamic sliding window, because as I were to come through and look at all of these, I would go, this can't be it because it's an odd number. All right. So then I come here. 1, 2, and I were to get done here. I think that's what we're doing. Because if I were to flip this around, all right. And also, I'm a big fan of, is it the same place? Yeah, let's try this. Let's go backwards. And then we're going to here, and we're going to do some edge case testing. And edge case test, now I default to edge case testing. Let's go back and close and close. Let's see what we do here with our human brain. So we look here. That's 1. And then I look here and here. So I now have a close. Well, automatically, we already have an issue because, yeah, I could just drag it. Awesome. Okay. So I have an issue right here because I have a closed before I have an open. So I believe this would automatically be a fail. And then I'd start back over with my dynamicness. Does that make sense? So I hit a fail and I come all the way back to my second position. And then my first starting position is a close, so I think that's a fail. Fail. All right, so then open, we're good. Open, we're still good. Close. So now my longest substring of this is 2 pairs, so 4. And then we'd continue on open, it's 1, still 1, then fail, then fail. All right. I know that may have been a weird explanation, but I'm going to attempt to do this again. Why can I drag this? Sweet, I can drag it. All right. So we're going to kind of go through and articulate what my human brain is doing right here. Four. Vinky, how are you doing? So the longest substring for these is 4. Correct. That's what my human brain does, and what we're doing. I don't know how long you've been here, Vinky. It's glad to have you here. Thank you. So I've kind of settled on that I believe my human brain is coming through here as a dynamic sliding window. And that becomes a fail because I had a closed while I did not have anything open. And I can't think of a scenario where I would want to continue. So now, and I believe also, then my next example, I would look at this and I would automatically fail. Fail because you cannot have a closed parenthesis. You cannot have a legal parenthesis that begins, or I can't think of one, cannot think of an example where I have, can't think of, no, boom, even Spider goes, what are you doing? So, all right, so we need to come up with the rules here. So if it is a closed, it just automatically moves over. Now I haven't written a dynamic sliding window in a while, so you may need to bear with me on this. Where's my protein shake? All right. I think this was exciting a little bit yesterday for everybody, and I think everybody's had their fill with this. But we need to come up with a name for y'all that come and hang out. Our code warriors, no, Python warriors, basic warriors. I don't know. You guys can come up with a name. All right, so I'm here. I'm good. I'm bad. I fail. Okay. Then I were to come over, fail, move, fail, move. Okay. We're good. Still possibly good. Better, because we're actually starting to make a pair. And, okay. Now we're going to attempt this. So now we actually have to write this in. So take this from human brain. So first we need to get and move all the way through and create the dynamic window. So dynamic windows are a little tricky. So as we move through, and once we have a fail, we need to start back over. Are we going to index? Let's grab everything and just move down. So if you're just joining us, what we're doing is we're working on trying to find an actual use case. Let's comment that out. Of how in the world are we deciding that this is the longest substring of legal parentheses, and this right here is the longest substring of legal parentheses, because Python has, and Spider has a built-in process where it helps us automatically into its text files. So it protects us from ourselves. I love that saying. So it's going to help us protect from ourselves. So let's come up here and highlight and comment this out. So if you're just joining us today, thank you for hanging out with us this Saturday. I think it's Saturday evening for a lot of you. That's going to be fine. This is going to be fine. Let's just start over. All right. Print. We just don't want to throw up. And what is it saying? Tuple error. Do I have not? Oh, I missed that one. Let's test this. So what I just did is basically wanted to test and see if the file was going to work. So it did. And I found that I left one of these uncommented out. All right, so here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to be attempting the dynamic sliding window. And go back. Perfect. Bingo, bingo. And we're going to have this fail here because we cannot have a closed parentheses without any open. So let's go. Okay. We have our sub and our longest sub, so we're going to go from here. If P equivalent to open, oops, let's see, closed, open, closed equal, closed greater than, I guess, oh, Vinky, I like that. I think, okay, it's closed greater than open. Think about iterating through it. So watch this. We're going to be explicit. So if P is equal to open, sub increment P. Now, if, oh, and open count increment by 1. I think this is nested. If open count greater than 1, greater than 0, we're fine. All right. So we need to go we need to handle I have a feeling we're going to do something opposite here. All right. How are we looking at this? So if open count All right, so we're going to do this a little bit backwards, because now we have to take Python brain from human brain. So basically, an open parentheses is okay at any time, but a closed parentheses is only okay if we have an outstanding open. So this is not okay right here, because this kills everything, because we have 0 open. Oops. Everybody following me? So here's where the trick is to go from human brain to Python brain. So we are looking here and we're making a decision somewhere, and we need to begin to practice articulating this. We stop looking because we just see a closed parentheses and we're like, but there are no more open parentheses. So we need to do this a little bit in reverse. All right. We're going to start back over. If P is equivalent to close parentheses and let's continue work with and open count. Let me check something, because we want to speed this up. Continue Python, continue, and for loop. Continue statement. Yeah, okay. All right. So I know I'm losing a lot of people. Equivalent to 0. Continue. All right. So basically, we're handling this first. So basically, we're going to be looking at if we were to have this first instance. So every time this comes through, it goes back. And actually, we need to reset. And then we need to reset everything. So if our sub, so if we came through here, we need to set our sub back to 0. And pair count goes to 0. And then we move over. And our longest substring wouldn't change. And then we'd be here. We'd have 0 pair. Move over here. Move over here. Okay, cool. All right. So I feel like that handles that. Now we're going to talk about in a normal situation. And if that did not make any sense, please somebody say something in chat and we'll go over that again. So basically the way that my brain, so we're moving very fluidly through SAM brain, normal human brain, and Python brain. So when I have these conditions like this, sometimes I do the fail first, and then what we would do in a happy path. So what is the bad ugly path? What do I want to catch? and then what is the good path. Sometimes I do this because this helps Sam's brain a lot better and a lot easier sometimes. So if I need to go over this, just let me know again, because I completely get that. So we were here, we're good. So we're looking for the longest, and then all of a sudden, hang on a second, may need to go feed the dogs. Hang on. Give me 1 second, everybody. Probably drop. I'll probably lose the rest of everybody who's trying to hang in there and being driven nuts by this scenario, because I get it. What is going on? Oh. Hang on. It's if you are new here, I don't know if Nico's still here, but Nico's been around a while. On the weekends, I get started before everybody gets up around here. And hang on. All right. This usually takes about 5 minutes, so it's going to get really loud, but I will be back. Somebody in chat, let everybody know that I'll be back in a minute. Or 5. Alright, I'm coming. Alright, sorry about that, everybody. I guess Nico is dropped. Don't know who all's still here, but thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I'm back. Had to feed the dogs this morning. It's early at my house. Alright, so if you're just jumping on, I think I have a possible solution for this. And basically the point of this exercise is, what the real point that I'm trying to drive through is, yes, it's great if we could sit down and just write a piece of code to do this. That's cool. That's an accomplishment in and of itself. But how did I know, how was my brain deciding how to do this? And I know this sounds redundant, and it's probably beginning to annoy everybody hearing the same thing, but it's a basic building block of programming. Because if you don't know how to solve it, you don't know what to code. So if you remember anything of what I ever say is that if you don't know how to solve it, you don't know how to code. You don't know what to code. There we go. So as I was going through this yesterday, not coding, just human brain, how was I deciding this? And I was moving. So here's a static window. We've done that one too, where I'm coming through and I'm looking for a length of something. I'm just doing this. Now the dynamic window, it moves and it expands. And once it hits a problem like this right here, we're going to reset. Move over one, shrink back down. And that's going to fail because it can't start with a close. That's going to fail. Can't start with a close. And that's what we're doing right here. If the open count is 0 and it's starting with a closed, reset the sub and move on. That may be a little bit redundant, but I don't think it. No. It's not. It needs to do that. So all right. So let's keep moving, because in this scenario, here we go. So we'd be here, and we need to stop looking because we had a pair, and we start over. So we reset the pair. We did reset the pair, and then boom. All right. The continue is redundant. That's okay. Because I was thinking, we have an if and we're going to do an elif. Okay. All right. So now, let's do elif. elif what? elif open count greater than 0, then I don't need pass anymore because we're about to type something. If P equivalent to open, then open count increment by 1. And then elif P equivalent to close, See how it doesn't even like this as a string? Then pair count, increment by 1. Don't know why it does that. And then open count, decrement by 1. Now, let's see where we are. See if I can not spill this to drink today. Oh, we also didn't need to increment our sub. Okay. Sub. Did my keyboard move? Increment by P. Sub increment by P. Now, if sub greater than longest sub becomes sub. All right. I know this reassignment can be a little weird. Does everybody get what I'm doing right here? I have a what? Print sub oh, we still have this down here. Okay. All right. So right now, let's see what we're getting. Print sub every time through. Let's print longest sub, see what comes out. And run. Okay, so right now, all right, so we do have a touch of an issue. So we need to think about this. Can't have any, so it only needs to write. So what do we do with our human brain? So this is where it gets very tricky, because this is technically only a sub when we have no opens, right? Because it's only a legal parentheses if we have a legal pair of parentheses. So right now, we would start back over, come to here. That can't be it. Whoops. Because close parentheses, no open, that can't be it. So now we're here. So, all right. Substring. So now we need to decide a decision. We have to make a decision. And pair count. Let's see. So what are we doing here? We got our pair count, pair count, pair count. Oh. If sub. So we have a little bit of an issue right here. Ooh, why is that? Oh, because that's... And I'm not handling this properly, because right now this should not be writing. Because we may need another, I don't want to over-engineer this, but we may need another temporary variable to have it be legal. God, I don't want to have to go through this so many times, but it's looking that way. But I don't think there's a way around this. Oops. Is this boring to everybody? I feel like it's boring to everybody, and you're getting to see the insides of my brain. Because this is illegal, because it's odd. So the first time through, we're checking everything. We're going to check if the full string is legal. Because that's what I did. That's what I said. So this test is flawed. All right. Because... No, we're not going to do it, because what just came to mind is I could do a len on the string, and I already know. So if I do, watch this, len on P1 16. So basically, no, it's possible. Oh yeah, because that has an even number because we have two illegal open parentheses, right? One, there it is. 1 and 2. And I love how this can do this so quickly. I mean, is that not interesting to you guys that it can automatically, and it is doing this search that quickly, and it goes illegal. I don't know. That is just amazement to me. So, all right. Let's do this small example first. So we have open, closed. Let's do this P1. Open, closed. What's that? Closed. Then I have two nested opens. Bingo. Was that it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. All right. So here we are. Let me not spill this. It's my energy juice. All right. Venky, are you following along okay? Does this make sense to everybody? Because I know, because I can feel that everybody's kind of really being drained by this. And oh no, did I? Okay, thought I closed OBS, but I just minimized it. All right. I think I'm numbing everybody to sleep. So, all right. So we're going to iterate through all of this. And our happy path is we're handling that, we're handling this, we're handling this. So, okay. All right, awesome. Because I think it's just me and you right now. Just gonna keep working on this. I think I'm boring everybody. I'm not doing a very good job of explaining the importance of this exercise. So, when we get done, so our longest substring, how did we know that this was bad? We knew this was bad. Actually, we knew this was bad here. I'm not doing a dynamic sliding window right now. I'm just iterating through all of it. This isn't even close to a dynamic sliding window. I'm in my head right now. I'm trying to do both at the same time. All right. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to redo this in my head because I need to stop. All right. Let me go back to the building blocks of a dynamic sliding window. I need to do this as an index. Bingo, because I'm here. There. That's good. Legal. Possibly legal. Legal. Illegal. Make sense? Still good. Really good. We finally have a legal parentheses. Bad. So then I shrink and I come over here. But I have one. I have one legal parentheses. I'm going to have to cheat and look at my last. How did where was I doing my dynamic sliding window? Okay. Don't know. Now that I have my new monitors, so let's see. Let's see. Hour and 17 minutes. Let's see. So a dynamic sliding window. Yeah, but ever since I have my new monitors, everything pops up on the new monitor and then moves over. All right, dynamic. And I do have this door guessing game. Longest substring, longest substring, longest substring. Did I do it in this? Oops, I just created 2 new, let's see. Longest substring random. Oh, that was my awesome, where I restarted my computer and I didn't save anything. So yeah, that was great. Hey Dax, how are you doing? I'm doing all right. We're still struggling with this legal parentheses problem that we're doing, and it's kind of whooping up on me because we're having an issue with how are we actually devising this with our human brain, and I think it's going to be a dynamic sliding window, but now I'm kind of at a loss for the building blocks of a dynamic sliding window, and I guess I'm also probably getting a little frustrated. So let's see, longest substring. Let's do a search, not save as. Let's bring this over here. Open longest dynamic, and I made a commitment to everybody that if I do not solve this today, I will not bore you guys with this for one more coding session, because I think I dropped quite a few people and have driven them completely nuts trying to solve this. Sliding window, no. Longest substring, where was it? In 2001. Find longest. There we go. All right. Oh, it was right under our guessing game. All right. How was I doing this? For the longest substring. So I did not. I don't know if you guys can read that, okay? But here we go. And iterate through the string. Else sub equals 1. So I just am moving through. So that will work. Let's just try this. We don't want this. Comment that out. Comment that out. And let's see. Run. Yes. Oh. Sorry. No. Is this untabbing not working? Seriously? Boom. Boom. Oh, I copied all this from another source. So it did not like the move. Forgot that. All right, let's rerun this. And there's rock, paper, scissors at the end. So I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there we go. And I think I defaulted to, that's 5 and that's 6. So bingo. So all right, so we come through here and we look at the last string. So what we're doing is we're trying to figure out the differential between how our brain is looking at this. Why does our brain say we need to stop? And my argument is, the way that I think this needs to be designed is our brain is going, hey, oops, Let me not spill my drink. My brain is saying legal, legal, illegal. And it stops and it restarts. How do we restart here? What was the output? 1, yep, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And once we get to here, that becomes the longest right here. And then it starts over AH. What is it? AH starts back over because B is less than H. All right, so apparently my Python brain is throwing up right here. Hey, I'm looking into data engineering. SQL are high on the list of qualifications. Think about it as a backup, in case. No, I actually, data engineering is very interesting to me. I actually just did start looking into it, and yes, and I guess maybe I'm actually more of a data engineer than I thought. I have applied, but man, they want folks with some master's degrees doing that. And I've applied for probably 3 or 4 of them. There was one near me that I wanted to be remote again, but again, a job better than being remote. It's a little bit of a drive, probably hour and a half. But I think that would be fine. But yes, data engineering, Docker. Don't know anything about Docker, but the point that the case that I'm trying to make is that if I learn VB.NET and SQL in a year, I think I'd be able to learn Docker pretty quickly. So, all right. So where are we? How long? We're at 1 hour and 26 minutes. I hope not everybody's eyes are starting to glaze over. Let's see. And worth it if you got that experience. Yeah. No, I completely agree. No. Let's see. Yep, out of range. So we're starting over, but see, we have an extra contingent here. So longest, then basically that would be the equivalent of us starting back over. But then also we would not write this to the substring. All right, so let's come over here. And I guess we are doing that right here, but we're probably not handling let's print out print sub every time through. Let's get rid of this right now because we don't have to do let's see. You have free access to LinkedIn and LinkedIn Learning and Udemy. Oh, that is awesome. Oh, because of, yes, I can completely see. I used to have LinkedIn learning, but Walmart got rid of that a couple months before I left. Ooh, let's see. We got some good. We got some fantastic lighting happening here. Oh, that's awful. We may be dropping here in a little bit because today, I think I've driven everybody nuts today with this, and now I'm not a big fan. What is going on with the lighting today? We just may call this a day and be done, because that is going to drive me bananas, and I think everybody else, because I got the sunlight coming in and it kills the green. And I did not hang a towel up there, and I cannot. Just made a fold in it. So, all right. So what I think I'm going to do is probably drop, well, I don't know. We have quite a few, well, not quite a few, but the most we've had most of the day. So, all right, let's hang out here for just a second, and then we will go. But if you just are joining us, what I'm really trying to impress upon everybody is ensuring, and I know this sounds cliche, and I know this sounds so weird, and just over the top, but just make sure you understand the problem. It's vital. It is absolutely vital to all of it. Yeah, so because when we started to first do this the other day, we began to try to solve the problem before we fully understood it. So what I'm actually trying to get everyone to do is go through here and think about how they're making this decision with their human brain. And when you do that, and when you really understand it, the programming part is easy. So this is why I'm making a big deal about it, and why I'm spending so much time on this. The more you can explain this to a 5-year-old, the easier it is to program. So like right now, I'm going back and forth. So I would not add this to my substring because it is an illegal closed parentheses, and I think that this is all back up here, and I'm about to make another mess. So we're gonna wrap up for today, and I'm gonna fix the lighting for tomorrow. I'll do this right here. And I think, yeah, the lighting is getting really bad, and the sun's starting to come in a lot earlier, and I even started a half hour earlier. So if you have any questions, drop them over onto Discord, and I will, when I have a solve for this, I'll share it with everybody. But right now, I don't even know how I'm deciding to do this in my human brain. Because, of course, I can count and do all of these, but there's a step that I'm missing of how I'm deducing it. Could you replace them with ones and zeros and then determine based off odd or even? Yes, that was actually one of the points that we were making, was that as we come through here, this would be an illegal statement because we cannot have a closed. So yes, we did have that discussion, and you have a great day. A count, because we are going to end up going through. Now we do have the dilemma of having it be reverse. So we would watch I know where you're going with this, and this is also where edge case testing is very. So right now, we'd have to be very, very careful. We'd also have to look at subsequently the order in which they come in, because if we were to just count and have odd to even, that would pass the test, but it would be illegal parentheses. So we would have a open and a closed, but not in the proper. Staying till end, I don't have a solution either. Well, all right. So I'm probably going to drop early because I think this is going to drive me bananas, and I need to get some stuff done today. I will probably work on this continuously, but the takeaway for this is, if you understand how your human brain makes a decision, that is so awful. Let's do that so it covers. If you understand how your human brain is making the decisions, programming is the easy part. I promise. So why does this fail, and why do we move on? Why does that fail? Why does that fail? Why is that good? If you can explain this to a 5-year-old, you can write this as a program. That is in a nutshell. And I know this is a dynamic window, and for some reason, dynamic windows are eluding me right now, because I think it's a little bit more sophisticated than this dynamic, where to go? This dynamic window, because we are going to need to start back over. Because I don't think, because I go A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, C. Yeah, because I don't go, okay. Now I don't feel less as crazy, because we don't go back to the beginning, and we literally are. All right, I don't feel as bad, because what happens is when we get to here, we just pick up here. We don't go back to our last one. Okay, I don't feel as crazy right now. So that is not the true dynamic window that I am wanting to do, because right here, and then a reset of it, and then we would not do this, we would not do this, but then we would start here, but we'd keep this as 2 until we get over here. Legal, 1, is 1 greater than that? No. Is 2 greater than this? Yes. Longest one. So, all right. I will work on this, and I will get a solve, and then I will share this with everyone. Oh, got rid of the... Cool. All right. Thank you, everybody. Let me come back to chat if anybody is still here. Yes. Let's see. Venki, can you literally... You can iterate it twice to check if closed. Yes. So what we're going to do is we're literally going to have pointers. And I know I have an example here. It's basically going to be, yes, Vinky, if it starts with, all right, so let's give an example. No. What do I want to do? That's not what I want to do. I want to brush. So we're going to have 2 pointers. And as we're, let's get rid of the block. I know I have one of these somewhere, and I'm just going to have to rewrite it. And we're going to be moving these over. And There we go. Why didn't that cut? Oh, wrong one. There we go. Boom. So here we go. Boom, boom, cancel. And then I move this one here. And this one, oops, back to here. So they both go here. Right now they're here, here, here. That's wrong. And this is going to come here. And this one's going to come here. And then that's wrong. How about 1 and minus 1 when 0? Then good. If it's also long as finished is not, that is as long as first is not. Oh, yeah, that's, yes. Basically, so right here when we get to, so when we got to here, open parentheses without any, close parentheses without anything other, reset, go back to the next one, and then move over. So then this is illegal because we have no open and we have a closed. This is illegal because we don't have any open and a closed. Now we're back to possible because open, good, open, good, open, 2 open, 1 closed, good, and then open, open. Hey, fantastic. So now, right now, this is the longest, and we're moving through. So then boom, 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 boom. There we go. So we're going to spend some time on that. Hope everybody has a good start of their weekend. I ran across a couple old things that we're going to do. I'm hoping to solve this today and then just show you guys how I did it, because I think I'm close with the human brain, and I promise. If you can write it in pseudocode, if you can write it in human brain, the programming part is easy. I promise. But what you'll notice is you're walking back and forth between programming brain, Python brain, and human brain. And that's when you make a lot of mistakes. Let's see, okay. Actually, that coloring is not that bad. Interesting. Oh, cloud must have come out because I don't have any light. I don't have any sunspots, right? It's like right back there because I have the window. Where'd my hand go? So right beside the camera at about 1 o'clock and about 45 degrees up, the sun's starting to peek through, and it comes right through these little pinholes in the blinds. So, all right, we're at 1 hour and 41. I have droned on about this for long enough. You guys keep working on this, Dex. Thanks for dropping by and hanging out. Hope everybody is well. And like I said, we will pick back up tomorrow doing something. I'll figure out what we're going to do. Need to get going around here. Got to get some people moving. But I love hanging out with y'all. Thank you for coming to see me today. And actually, I really think I like this color. I just got to fix that issue. I don't look too orange, and I don't look too pale. But I think my teeth start to turn a little gray if I'm too far away. But all right, my son would be making very much fun of me right now if he were to see all this. All right, thanks, man. Have a great day, and talk to y'all soon.